It's good to speak to you, Juan, because Spain's had quite a strict lockdown. You've been really housebound for 6-7 weeks now. How have you fared?
It's very, very hard for our industry. For all industry, of course, but for the event AV industry is the worst situation, because already, for example, the Madrid City Hall already said that we will not have events until October. Every region will have their own rules. This is also very confusing for the event company, because the event company, they need to know what is going to happen to prevent and to plan plan all the things that they need to do for survive. And also for us as a company, we still will have some business with the installation, but we are also an event technology company. We do technology products for the event industry. So most of our turnover comes from both worlds.
It's terrible. I mean, can you imagine in the UK as well, all the events, especially in the summer festivals, it's huge business from now until September. There's nothing happening. Every rental company is on hold, and they're in the same situation as in Spain as well. There's no work, and they don't get unemployed. If you're a freelance engineer or a roadie or you're self-employed, you're out. You're going to have to work in a supermarket. Hey. And that has a knock-on effect for suppliers.
And also, by the way, the suppliers of us, they are also suffering, because not only for our company, for the many companies in Europe from our industry are not doing almost nothing. So all the chain is suffering. And during this time, we had to rethink all the how we are going to do business and which products we are going to launch. We need to do things at least that maybe does make any business, but give another kind of things to the audience. For example, I organize an online talk with most of associations of technicians and AV rental companies, together with the president of the Freelancers Association, to talk about what they can do for the future. Okay, so this is a kind of thing that we cannot do nothing, but we are staying at home. What we can do? Another thing, which is funny, but I'm a big podcast fan. I realized that there was no AV podcast in Spanish, and so I started to create a podcast to interview all the relevant people in the industry, so they have another kind of content to think about different things, because again, we don't know what is going to happen.
Although Europe is a little bit flat at the moment, there is certain areas of the world, and we look at Asia, for example. Australia, New Zealand is coming out of lockdown now. Some markets are riding this out better than others. Europe is still the epicenter of this all. Is there any way you can sort of maneuver your business to those markets which are strong at the moment, which have a potential?
Yes, well, the first thing is Equipson, as you said, has a lot of diverse products. And also this is because we are a company that can be adapt to the situations quite quick. Okay, we are still not too big, we are not too small, but what we do is react immediately, and we can adapt to all the situations, I hope. I would like to think, and that's what I think, that we are prepared to adapt immediately to the new situation. And also for the Asia markets, we recently we have put more sales force on that area of the world. So for that point, it was good that we did it in the right time.
Now, the factory's been closed for how long now?
7 weeks.
7 weeks, a long time.
Factory is working, because we are allowed to work, because first, Fantech is doing some essential product like the cabins I told you. Yeah. Also, we do export, so all the companies that do export can work. So, but we change our way of working to make the production safe. Today I came to the company because I have something to check visually, but it's the first time I came to the company in 2 weeks. So all the staff now the new labor day finished before lunch. So they go lunch late, but they go lunch to home. So we avoid any situation when they can go to the workers can stay together. And also we keep one person for every department. So we don't allow two persons in the same department at the same time. And all the people that can work at home work at home. There is no way, and it will be from my point of view, it will be silly if there is one person that can work from home, totally 100% from home. They need to come. There is no reason why they need to come. No, so it's a new situation, but it's also, I think, will change how all the industries work with the remotely work from now. Can
you see a way out of this? Are there any positive chinks coming up?
I think the future we are seeing now is darker than the real future we have, because finally we are humans and we need to go out. We need to do some fun. We will maybe change some ways, but I think what happened in the 2002 when it was the SARS in Hong Kong.
2003, yeah, 2002, 2003. You remember it well, yes?
Yeah, so I remember that it was very, very hard for Hong Kong and that area. It was the mortality was 35%, so very hard. But finally, after 1 year, every situation became normal again, and the rental companies, the AV companies there, finally survive. I would like to think that the situation will be similar in some way.
It's been interesting to talk to you, Juan. I've been meaning to talk to you for some time because we were worried about you. You're in Valencia, which is a hotbed of audio, if anyone doesn't know, in Spain. There's several other large manufacturers there. You're one of the biggest, if not the biggest. And you're clearly suffering at the moment. But there's an old adage, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. And I hope that you come out of this and you're bigger, better company for it. I mean, you learned from SARS in Asia how we have to adapt. And although SARS didn't affect us here in Europe, you saw firsthand, like I did, how it can make a big impact. And SARS wasn't around for as long, or it wasn't as virulent, but it still had a bad effect. And hopefully we can bounce back.
Yeah. We need to think positive. If not, of course, react and be prepared, but think that there is a future.